For singles, COVID-19 can mean a lot of time alone, even if you've been virtually dating online. So we're taking your questions this morning on how to turn virtual dates into real-life romance. An author, relationship strategist, and couples counselor, Trey Bradley, joins us via Skype. Good morning, Trey. Looks like you're all healthy and well this morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Okay, you say that in one way, COVID-19 may be a really good thing that has happened to dating. Can you explain?
Yes. The reason why I say that is because, we have this phase that maybe people have forgotten about called the courting phase, right? So the courting phase is sort of your pre-screening time, okay? And you got more time to now finally really get to know someone and understand their qualities, who they are at their core. Before, we sort of had the ability to sort of bypass that phase and let our hormones do all the work and build the attraction that way. So this is actually creating this environment that everybody is sort of admonished and mandated to respect our physical spaces, but start to connect in other ways. And so we're becoming more creative in that way.
Okay, so somebody's sitting out there and they're saying, okay, I'm sitting here in front of my screen. All this talk about courting is great, but I don't know how to court. I don't know what to ask. I don't know what to talk about. Let's start with women. What are some good things to talk about online or good questions to ask?
Well, first of all, I know that the ongoing conversation is all about what's happening out there in the pandemic. So of course, that might be an opening, but you really want to start asking questions that tap into who someone really is. So for a woman, asking a man, when you were a kid, what did you want to be or do as a career or a job?
Okay.
Right? And that way it gets him talking more about himself where he feels more confident, because most men feel way more confident discussing their visions and ideas and aspirations, whether they're doing it in a career or not. But it really taps into the heart of what his vision is and how he sees himself.
Okay, and we are inviting you to text us if you have a question. The number to text is 214-977-6028. Alana's standing by to take your questions. Okay, let's say that you're a guy sitting there in front of your computer and you're thinking, what do I say to court a woman online? I love your suggestion about asking a man about his vision. What about asking a woman? What do you ask?
So for most women, I would say for a guy, you want to start out with something light, but asking them who are the people in your inner circle that you admire the most. Who would be somebody that's a fictional character that you identify with, right? What's the best gift you've ever received? Have you discovered any new restaurants ordering online? Using
That's
all
great.
these different.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, So now here's the big question. If you like this courting thing, and I really think what you're saying has a lot of value because you really do get to know a person. I know that, I read somewhere that you're getting to see how a person handles adversity through this courting online. Do they have the ability to deal with anxiety, things like that? So let's say now that you're about ready to go out back into real life again, and you want to take this courting thing into real life. Dallas has a reputation as being a city where after the, first, second, third date, people have sex. Let's say you don't want to do that. You want to take courting into real life. How do you go about changing the paradigm that's out there?
So what I would do is, because we are also shifting from, one situation to another, I think you also want to put things in stages, right? So before you go out, also maintain some of the online dating aspect, right? So you maintain your connection virtually, and then you slowly but surely, maybe you meet somewhere at a park and you keep some distance. Because you really don't know, everybody's still on edge and trying to figure out what all this really means, but it shouldn't stop you from being able to really open your heart, get to know someone. And I think this is a real good gauge, because people really show up. Who they really are really shows up when there's stress, when there's, conditions that are not so perfect. But
that's a great idea, to incorporate some of your virtual stuff still when you start seeing the person in person, so you don't just switch from one to the other. Okay, Alana's got a question from a viewer. Alana?
And first I have a comment. Y'all don't give your goods after the second or third date. You gotta make these people work for it, right? Okay, here's a question. What about those who have been dating for years? I miss him. And so I'm not quite sure if she misses maybe dating him or kind of that courtship of dating. So maybe let us know what you think.
Yes. So, from my understanding of the question, right? So, if you've been dating someone already, so you should have some foundation, right? Some foundation of familiarity, but you're also getting to know them in a totally different environment, a totally different set of conditions. And I think the rules still apply, right? You just slowly integrate yourself back into, respecting all the boundaries and making sure that, nobody's showing symptoms of anything. But you also want to just slowly integrate yourself into, if it's possible, being physical. Look, you might be able to go somewhere, sit a table or two apart, right? And discuss, speak face to face or be in the same environment. If you need to be that far enough away from each other and still do your FaceTime or virtual talking.
And you know what?
There's so many ways.
Alana's got another question, but I just want to insert here. You can use that as an excuse. You could say, hey, we're still social distancing, so let's sit a table apart. Alana, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. This is a great conversation. We could keep at this all hour long. Here's the next question. Besides online, how do we meet people during the pandemic?
That's really been the going medium right now, is doing it online. It's very difficult. You're out and about. You'll meet someone that might be walking and might be at a park or, at the store, so there's multiple ways to meet people. I think just being open to, finding ways to more so understand what you're looking for, right? Because my biggest thing is what I start people out with is you got to really have it clear in your mind specifically what you want in a relationship, what your ultimate partner looks like. So before anything else, all these other mediums come through the fact of you understanding that you're ready for this and you know specifically what you're looking for.
So Trey, you're talking about what you're looking for. And I know that you think that this experience, and this is something to keep in mind when you go out there now in real life, is going to change in some respects what people are looking for.
Yes.
How do you mean that?
Yes. This is causing us to reorganize our value system, right? And like I said, a lot of times we've been able to sort of bypass and let all our physical attraction do all the work for us. But now you can't let the hormones do it. You have to let the heart do it. So your values and what's important, if there's something else comes up like this, who would you want to be stuck with? Well, what type of person you really now are looking for? True compatibility, not just attraction, true compatibility. Because once all those things fall away, when the salons are closed and she can't get her hair done and he can't get his hair cut, do you like the person enough? So COVID-19 is going to be our new social dating chaperone.
Oh, that's funny. I say I have ratchet COVID nails over here, so I gotta find somebody that loves me with all my nails too. Don't look down at my feet. All right, this is a great question. I know I have a lot of girlfriends that are paying attention to this one. How does someone who's been skeptical of online dating know which sites to utilize with all the false sense of identity? Which with social media? How do I know I'm interacting with a real person?
Yeah, dating apps.
Oh, that's okay. That's good. So the cool thing is, some of these dating apps have integrated the video, right? So the fact is, you can see the person you're talking to. You're just not the whole what's the thing where they catfish. It's a little bit more difficult to catfish somebody now, and you get to see who they are, where they live, and what their environment looks like. So I don't, I think there's less opportunity for that now than it was before. If you're skeptical about online dating, it really depends on which site you go to and understanding how certain sites are set up a certain way, right? There's sites out there that, that are more focused on what the person looks like physically. And there's other sites that you can find that really take the time, and there's deep questionnaires, and they're really trying to understand who you are and what you're looking for. And they're not just going to keep giving you a whole bunch of random people based off of a handful of photos and a couple of lines. There's some things that really go deep into understanding you as a person, as well as finding the right match for you. So make sure you do your research on different sites and dating apps to see which one fits what you're actually looking for. If you really want to settle down and get a real commitment, there's sites out there, because I met my wife on one as well, and there's sites out there that really are geared toward that type of mindset.
All right, Trey, hey, we have one last viewer question here, and I'm going to go ahead and answer the last part. No, I'm sorry, he's not single. The person asked, I'm new to Dallas. I'm nervous to date. Any advice to get over the fear? The fear is Trey single. Oh, but I bet you he knows some single men.
Yes, of course. But definitely the fear is a big deal, right? That's what's happening. I posted a question yesterday and so many different responses. And a lot of times, be careful, people. Do not use this as another reason to hide, right? This is time for you to show up and really come out and be who you really are. This is the time to do that. Don't use this as an excuse to hide yourself behind, well, I don't want to date now because there's, all this is going on. Be careful with that, because that's fear stacked on top of fear, stacked on top of fear. And all you're going to do is shut your whole life down, okay? So be confident, take your time, reach out to me if you need some help with just uncovering a lot of those things and clearing the air so you can be open and create the future that you want and find someone who could co-create with you.
Thank you so much, Trey, for sharing some important stuff, because you know what, if you're sitting out there alone and you want a relationship, you're really focused on that, and you're tired of being alone. So we appreciate you sharing some really good tips this morning for our viewers who maybe need some help in that area.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely. I'm here to help. Love you guys.
Okay. Have a great day, Trey. Thanks for being with us this morning.